The female protagonist's unexpected boldness is the heartbeat of this story, defining her as a character who refuses to be confined by societal expectations or the limitations that often surround women in high-stakes, high-society environments. Her declaration of being engaged is not merely a casual statement. It is a calculated act of audacity that immediately sets the stage for both intrigue and tension. This moment demonstrates her ability to take control of her narrative even in the presence of overwhelming power and authority. By claiming an engagement, she disrupts the normal flow of social dynamics, challenging assumptions and prompting those around her to question the truth, the motive, and the consequences of her words. This boldness is the first glimpse the audience receives of her inner strength, intelligence, and capacity to navigate a world that may be dominated by men, wealth, and influence. Her action is also indicative of a deeper strategy, suggesting that she is not just reactive, but proactive, able to use wit and presence of mind to manipulate the environment in her favor. This quality elevates her from a passive participant in the unfolding drama to a central force capable of shaping events. The courage it takes to speak such a claim, particularly in a setting where she is surrounded by powerful figures and societal scrutiny, cannot be overstated. In doing so, she asserts her identity and agency, signaling to both the characters within the story and the readers themselves that she is not someone to be underestimated or dismissed. Her boldness is a lens through which the audience begins to understand her motivations, ambitions, and the complexity of her character. Moreover, this audacious moment creates a captivating contrast between her and the powerful man whose attention she draws. While he represents control, influence, and societal authority, her boldness introduces unpredictability, injecting energy and tension into the narrative. Readers are immediately compelled to wonder how he will respond, whether with amusement, irritation, or admiration. And this dynamic sets the foundation for the evolving relationship between the leads. Her courage challenges him to recognize her as an equal, someone who can stand her ground in the face of his immense power. This interplay not only enhances character development, but also heightens the emotional stakes of the story, as the audience anticipates the consequences and the potential for romantic tension. Finally, her boldness resonates with the audience on a personal level. Many readers are drawn to protagonists that exhibit courage, intelligence, and self-assuredness, qualities that are often aspirational. By showcasing her willingness to take risks and disrupt expectations, the story positions her as a role model of confidence and ingenuity, ensuring that readers remain emotionally invested in her journey. Her initial declaration is more than a plot device. It is a profound statement of character that defines the trajectory of the narrative and the compelling relationship at its core. The theme of power and status plays a central role in shaping the narrative, particularly through the male protagonist, who is described as the most powerful man. His authority is not just financial or political, but extends into social influence, public perception, and the ability to command attention and obedience. This immense power creates a dynamic where his words, actions, and decisions carry weight beyond personal relationships, affecting the environment around him and heightening the stakes of the story. His public confirmation of the engagement amplifies this influence, demonstrating how his acknowledgement can legitimize claims, shape
opinions, and transform ordinary statements into events of significance. By placing the male lead at the apex of social and professional hierarchies, the story instantly establishes tension, as readers understand that interacting with such a figure requires strategy, courage, and careful consideration. The presence of power in this narrative is multifaceted. On one hand, it underscores the allure of wealth and prestige, drawing readers into a world of luxury, opulence, and societal expectation. The male lead's power is not just personal, it is a symbol of the environment the characters inhabit, a world where status dictates opportunity, access, and influence. The story explores how power can protect, intimidate, or manipulate, depending on the character's intentions, and this creates a layered, suspenseful backdrop for the unfolding romance. Readers are naturally drawn to stories where stakes are high, and the protagonist's interactions with someone so influential promise both risk and reward, creating a compelling emotional tension. Moreover, the male protagonist's power functions as a narrative device to test the female lead's resilience and adaptability. His status presents both external and internal challenges. Externally, she must navigate societal judgment, public scrutiny, and the expectations imposed by his world. Internally, she must confront her own fears, ambitions, and sense of agency in the face of someone who could dominate any situation effortlessly. This dynamic allows the story to explore themes of equality, negotiation, and mutual respect in relationships, highlighting how characters adapt to power imbalances while maintaining their individuality. The male lead's authority also serves as a catalyst for plot development, as each decision he makes has ripple effects, shaping interactions, revealing character traits, and creating tension that drives the narrative forward. Finally, the depiction of power and status resonates with readers' fascination with influence and control, offering both escapism and insight into high-stakes social dynamics. It provides a lens through which the audience can explore the complexities of wealth, authority, and reputation, while following characters whose personal growth and emotional journeys are entwined with these themes. By making the male lead both immensely powerful and emotionally responsive to the female lead's boldness, the story balances dominance with vulnerability, ensuring that power becomes a compelling, integral element rather than a mere backdrop. This interplay between influence and intimacy enriches the narrative, keeping readers invested in the evolving relationship and the dramatic tension it generates. The element of public drama and social tension is a pivotal force in this story, providing a layer of complexity and emotional engagement that keeps readers captivated. The narrative is structured around the moment when the female protagonist boldly claims she is engaged, and the male lead, described as the most powerful man, confirms it in front of everyone. The public nature of this confirmation transformed what could have been a private exchange into a spectacle, magnifying the stakes and creating an environment charged with anticipation, intrigue, and potential conflict. Public settings in storytelling are often used to amplify tension, because every action, reaction, and word is observed by others, meaning the characters' reputations, relationships, and social standing are all on the line. This makes the unfolding drama not only about personal feelings, but also about navigating a complex web of societal expectations and judgment.
The tension arises from multiple sources. First, there is the uncertainty surrounding the truth of the engagement. By announcing her claim publicly, the female protagonist forces the audience, both within the story and outside it, to question the motives behind her statement. Is it a lie, a strategic move, or a bold attempt to assert control over her circumstances? This uncertainty keeps readers engaged because it raises immediate questions. What will happen next? Who will be affected? And how will the other characters react? It also creates suspense as the story explores the ramifications of this revelation, particularly in a setting where the male lead's status means his actions carry immense weight. His public acknowledgement turns a personal matter into a social event, inviting speculation, gossip, and scrutiny, which in turn heightens the stakes for both characters. Additionally, the public drama underscores the emotional tension between the leads. The female protagonist's audacity and the male protagonist's powerful affirmation create a high-stakes interplay of personalities. Each action is amplified because it occurs in the eyes of society, forcing them to navigate not only their own feelings, but also the perceptions and expectations of those watching. This tension allows for layered character development, as both leads are tested in terms of courage, composure, and emotional intelligence. It also allows the story to explore themes of vulnerability and resilience, as they must maintain dignity and authority while responding to scrutiny and judgment from the public. The social dimension also introduces conflict, both internal and external. Externally, other characters may challenge or react to the engagement, creating obstacles, rivalry, or tension in social hierarchies. Internally, the protagonists must reconcile their personal emotions with the consequences of public exposure, which adds psychological depth to the narrative. By situating the drama in a public context, the story capitalizes on human fascination with social dynamics, gossip, and public perception, engaging readers who are drawn to tension, spectacle, and high-stakes interpersonal conflict. The combination of bold claims, powerful affirmation, and public scrutiny ensures a story rich in suspense, emotion, and drama, making readers eager to follow each unfolding moment. The romantic intrigue and emotional stakes in this story form the core of its appeal, creating a magnetic tension that keeps readers invested from beginning to end. At the heart of the narrative is the complex interplay between the female protagonist, who boldly claims she is engaged, and the male protagonist, described as the most powerful, whose public confirmation escalates the drama into a deeply personal and emotional realm. This dynamic is more than just a social maneuver. It is a fertile ground for romance to develop, layered with secrecy, tension, and the thrill of unexpected connection. The audience is drawn to the possibilities. Will this public acknowledgement spark genuine feelings? Will it lead to misunderstandings or emotional complications? The tension between appearance and reality drives the romantic narrative forward, ensuring that every interaction between the leads carries weight and significance. The story thrives on the imbalance of power and the contrasts between the characters, which heighten emotional stakes and add complexity to the romance. The male protagonist's authority, wealth, and social dominance create a formidable presence, one that could intimidate, charm, or overwhelm the female protagonist. Yet her audacious claim and bold behavior challenge him, establishing her as an equal in intellect and spirit. This push-and-pull dynamic is essential in equating the narrative dramatic tension.
Creating romantic intrigue, as it establishes a relationship built on mutual respect, fascination, and the potential for emotional growth. Readers are captivated by this tension because it mirrors the universal appeal of opposites attracting. The meeting of strength with daring, control with unpredictability, and societal expectation with personal courage. Emotional stakes are also heightened by the public nature of the engagement declaration. When the male protagonist confirms her statement in front of everyone, it is not only an affirmation of her claim, but also an implicit acknowledgement of her importance to him. This public validation transforms a simple declaration into a layered emotional gesture, filled with implications for trust, affection, and potential romantic development. The audience is left to navigate the delicate balance between perception and reality. Are the protagonists genuinely interested in each other, or is this a strategic maneuver with hidden motives? The ambiguity fuels romantic tension, encouraging readers to invest emotionally in the evolving connection between the characters, while anticipating the revelations and twists that will eventually define their relationship. Moreover, the story's romantic intrigue is enhanced by the interplay of suspense and uncertainty. Every action, glance, or word between the characters carries potential meaning, inviting readers to interpret and reinterpret their motives and emotions. This constant undercurrent of uncertainty keeps the romance dynamic and engaging, making the audience eager to witness the development of feelings, the resolution of misunderstandings, and the ultimate realization of emotional truth. By weaving together public drama, power dynamics, and the personal courage of the female protagonist, the story creates a romance that is intense, suspenseful, and emotionally resonant, ensuring that readers are thoroughly immersed in both the unfolding love story and the high-stakes world it inhabits.